Welcome to Money Answers TV. I'm your host, Jordan Goodman of MoneyAnswers.com. Today we're going to find out about how you can get errors off your business credit report and improve your business's credit score. My guest is Paul Oster, president of Better Qualified. Paul, welcome to Money Answers TV.
Thanks for having me on, Jordan.
So how much of a problem is it that businesses have errors on their Dun & Bradstreet report and it hurts their businesses?
Well, I would say the biggest problem is most small business owners don't even realize that they have a business credit report, let alone that there could be false, inaccurate, unverifiable information that's on there that's causing them to have a lower business credit score.
So how do errors get on a Dun & Bradstreet report in the first place? You'd think they'd be really all on top of it.
The perfect example that I can give to you is the franchise model. So let's say there's a franchise XYZ mold remediation company in New Jersey. You may have 13, 14, 20 different companies that are very similar. So what happens is somebody files a lien against a company, a UCC filing, and it winds up on all 15 of their business credit reports. That's probably the easiest way. And if you think about business credit reports, companies have similar names. People change names of companies. Owners of companies jump to different companies. And a lot of times that information follows them or is, again, it's being reported inaccurately.
So many businesses have not even established a credit profile in the first place. How can Better Qualified help them actually create a credit profile?
The good news here is that it's not rocket science, right? It's not easy, but it's not complicated, and it takes a little time. So the small business owner that comes to us, most of them, believe it or not, Jordan, have no business credit at all. So the good news is they don't even have errors. They have no business credit. They're not on the radar anywhere under Dun & Bradstreet. So what we do is we help them establish lines of credit, experiences that they're going to start to generate business credit. And the most important thing about business credit is that it's not tied to you personally. The small business owner has to understand, if you file a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, any of the creditors that you've personally guaranteed are going to come after you personally. So why you should not own your own car, your corporation should own your car. People always say, Paul, I have a corporate credit card. I have an American Express. Well, American Express makes you personally guarantee it no matter what. So I always ask them, did you provide your Social Security number when applying for the credit card or the gas card? And the answer is, I don't know. If they say, I don't know, they did. Or they say, yes, I use. So if you use your Social Security number, somewhere in that fine print, you personally guaranteed it. So the idea is to establish your corporation's credit under your tax ID number only.
So why is it important for a business to build, manage, and monitor their business credit?
So this is the age-old story about the person who's asking for the umbrella when it's raining. It's too late at that point. So a lot of small businesses right now are getting in trouble. The number one reason why a business goes out of business is lack of access to capital. So when the time is dire and they need access to capital, that's not the time to apply for the credit. So they need to build their business credit up until the point when they actually have to walk into a bank and borrow the money, because the first thing the bank is going to do is pull your business credit report. And if you have no business credit, that's not a good thing. They're not going to lend you the money. And small businesses always say, Paul, well, I have a 30-day credit limit with this company, and I have a 30-day credit limit with that company. The problem is, unlike consumer credit, where if you get a credit card, 99% of the time, they're going to report to the credit bureaus. Most of the time on the business world, it's not being reported. So you need to find the vendors that actually report to Dun & Bradstreet, and you need to build your business credit so when you walk into the bank, you have a PAYDEX score of an 80. That's actually considered a perfect business credit score. The scale goes from 0 to 100, but once you have an 80 PAYDEX score and you've been in business for a year or a little over a year and you're making some money, any amount of money, you can then apply for lines of credit. I don't own my car. Better Qualified owns my car. So let's say I had to go out of business tomorrow. The bank would come and repossess that vehicle, but it would have no impact on my personal credit.
So what harm is felt by businesses who have lower Dun & Bradstreet ratings than they really deserve?
So you're either going to not qualify, for an SBA loan or any type of financing through your bank, or you're going to pay risk-based premiums. So just like the consumer, as opposed to paying 4.5% for a mortgage right now, if you have poor credit, you could be paying 7.5%, 8%, 9%. Relatively speaking, those interest rates aren't so bad when you think about what was going on in the 80s, but what would you rather have, 4.5% or 8.5%? So just like on the consumer side, you need your paydex score to be at an 80 or above, a perfect credit score, so you can get the best terms and conditions for your business.
Does Dun & Bradstreet make it easy to get errors off your credit report?
They do not. So unfortunately, they're as hard to deal with as the consumer credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Dun & Bradstreet does not make it an easy process, but that is why sometimes you need to hire a professional company. So just like on the consumer side, can a small business try and build, manage, and monitor their own business credit? Yes, they can. But the reality is, the company should focus on what they do best. Sell your widgets, build your widgets, and let us build your business credit for you.
So how does Better Qualified work with Dun & Bradstreet to get errors off when it's so difficult?
So the first step is actually pulling the business credit report. And that's going to tell us pretty much everything we need to know and what the game plan has to be moving forward. So sometimes it is a combination of having the negative items taken off of the report, or at least updated the status, getting settlements and letters of satisfaction, warrants of satisfaction in place, getting the UCC filings taking off. And then the other side of it is to build more positive experiences, because the more positive experiences that you have, and the longer the history, the less weight those negative items are going to have. If the only thing you have on your business credit report are negative items, it's not so good.
Explain what business owners should be doing to cooperate with Better Qualified to get their Dun & Bradstreet report in as good shape as possible.
Sure. So our biggest message to people that call us is you have to participate. There's no magic beans here. I don't have somebody that works for Dun & Bradstreet. This is hard work. We do 90% of the work, but the merchant has to do their part. And if they don't, then they will certainly not be as successful as somebody that does. And I know that sounds kind of simple, and it should be, but believe it or not, some people, they're not responsive, and they don't realize that time is of the essence. So we have a 12-month program. The most intensive part about that program is the first 3 to 4 months. That's where we're updating with the Secretary of State. Some of the biggest problems that small businesses make is when they first form their business. There are errors and mistakes, but those errors and mistakes are never brought to light until they need to apply for a loan or do something like that. And then they say, wait a second, this is the wrong address. Maybe they moved and they never updated the Secretary of State. They're not listed with 411 directories. They're using a Gmail for their email account. They're using a cell phone. They don't have a dedicated business line. They're using their mom's address for their business address. So these are the things, and the first 30 days we call the compliance phase. And that's where we're reviewing all of the necessary documents that pertain to that small business. And then from that point, it's really a matter of building the credit, managing it, and monitoring it. So again, when that business owner needs access to capital, so instead of using the money that's in their bank, they could borrow, they can finance for equipment that they might need, again, with no personal guarantees.
So why can't business owners clean up these credit report errors on their own instead of dealing with you?
Well, they can. It's like anything else. Sometimes it does pay to hire a professional. So I'm not saying that the small business owner couldn't build, manage, and monitor their own business credit, but if they could do it, they should have already done it. And the reality is we're also pressed for time. Time is the greatest commodity, right? So the small business owners needs to stay laser focused on growing their business while we can help grow their business credit.
So what kind of results do you typically get for your clients?
Well, this is the greatest thing with business credit. First of all, it is easier to build someone's business credit profile and faster than building a consumer profile. So you think about the small business owner that maybe they've already gone bankrupt, they've already had some issues on their personal credit. We can help build their business credit profile within 3 to 4 months. They get the perfect paydex score of an 80, and then they're going to have access to these lines of credit and financing with no personal guarantees. So it doesn't really matter for their business purposes what their consumer credit looks like at that point.
What kind of a difference does it make for a business that has a really good credit report and credit score from Dun & Bradstreet?
It's like 10 times what it would be for the consumer if you think about it. It could cost the small business owner thousands of dollars a month if they don't have a perfect paydex score of an 80 or above at the time that they're applying for financing. So it's imperative. Again, the number one reason why small businesses go out of business is lack of capital. So you need to do things that are going to ensure the survival of your business, and building your business credit profile is the number one thing you can do.
So if a business owner wants to contact you to find out how to build their business credit and get errors off, how do they do it?
So they can go to our website, and that's the easiest way to just start the process, and it's tourdebusiness.com. That's tourdebusiness.com. Or they can call us at 732-413-8627. It's absolutely free. So we're going to pull their Dun & Bradstreet business credit report for them absolutely free.
Well, thanks so much, Paul. I think you're going to help a lot of businesses get their act together.
Thanks for having me on, Jordan.
So if you want to get errors off your business credit report and improve your business's Dun & Bradstreet rating, check out Better Qualified to see if they can help you. For Money Answers TV, I'm Jordan Goodman.